Greetings. I am Adama. When we left off, I gave you an introduction to who I am, who I have been, and what is happening on your planet at this time. We will now speak to the process of the Ascended Master overlay, which is an increasingly common phenomena on your planet for those who have awakened, who contain the potential to achieve avatar state of an Ascended Master presence. There are many people on your planet, though perhaps it is a relatively small number in proportion to the nearly 8 billion people incarnate, who possess the potential of achieving the avatar state of an Ascended Master presence. By this, we mean that they have achieved a sufficient level of discipline of the personality, the hollowing of the personality, and purification and discipline of the physical body to be able to become a channel for the Ascended Master presence associated with their core soul vibration. The one who speaks possesses the potential for achieving the avatar state of the Ascended Master presence known as Adama. He is not the only one. There are 33 beings incarnate on the planet at this time who possess the potential for becoming an avatar of the Ascended Master Adama. Why, you ask, are there 33? Well, I tell you, dear ones, we do not leave such things as this to chance. 33 is a sacred number, a number that is Trinity, that is transcendence, that is mastery. 33 is the number of the Ascended Masters. And 33 incarnations were undertaken simultaneously by the Ascended Master presence of Adama in various locations on this planet in physical vehicles with the appropriate configuration due to the genetic makeup of the body and lineage to be able to hold the vibration of this presence. Each of the 33 incarnate beings with the potential to achieve avatar state as Adama are scattered throughout your world, each with the possibility of awakening, remembering who and what they are, and remembering their mission on this planet at this time, and given the tools and support along the way to walk the ladder of light, to walk the steps of light, to achieve union with the Ascended Presence. Adama is an incarnation of the divine masculine. Adama is the first man, Adam. Adama is the priest of ancient Lemuria. At least this is one incarnation of Adama wherein the physical vehicle was able to achieve avatar status and become itself in truth. This process can take many years, but the first step, the pivotal step, is the awakening of the Kundalini energy in the base of the spine, at which point the alchemical process for transformation of the physical vehicle and integration of mind, body, and spirit commences. The most important, shall we say, qualification for one who walks this path is that they are willing to subordinate, in a sense, the personality of the physical vehicle to the vibration of the soul. This process is not an easy one, especially in a place such as yours, in a world such as yours, where the ancient mystery schools who held the knowledge of ascension and transfiguration has largely been lost or secreted away out of the view of the rest of humanity. This one has found the breadcrumbs, so to speak, of the techniques, the practices, and the methods for the alchemical process of transmutation and transfiguration, and is in the midst of that process as we speak. The one who speaks has, to a high degree, become an instrument of the Ascended Master Presence of Adama. However, there is much work yet to do in the purification of mind, body, and spirit, and the integration of this body of form with the Ascended Master Presence of Adama. Each who hears my voice has the potential to become an avatar of their own higher self, which is an Ascended Master in potentiation. Ascended Master simply means one who has successfully passed through the final test of the third dimension, which requires the transmutation of the third density vehicle into the vehicle of light of the fourth density, which now beckons. It was once a very rare thing for one in third density to achieve such a feat, because the energy on your planet was such that there was not sufficient density of light to be able to undergo this process easily. It was, of course, possible, and there are those who achieved it, such as the one known as Yeshua. The one known as Yeshua, the Christ, achieved Christhood at the end of one age and the beginning of another. It was at the end of the descending Dwapara Yuga and the begin of the Kali Yuga that the one known as Yeshua achieved his Christhood. He achieved this status through a rigorous disciplining of the personality and training of mind, body, and spirit by the community of light into which he was born, known as the Essenes. The Essenes were a community of light, of incarnate souls that grounded into physical reality for the purpose of assisting the one known as Yeshua with his ascension and transfiguration. There were, during that age, many Ascended Masters incarnate who achieved varying degrees of self-realization. However, some chose to hang in the, shall we say, background, not coming to public eye as the one known as Yeshua did, but instead remaining secreted away in the enclaves of the Essenes to be wisdom teachers and holders of the light. Each is given a mission in accordance with their Dharma. Some of you will rise to public notice and recognition as the beings of light that you are. Others will lead quiet lives, lives of contemplation, community, and personal transformation amidst a life that is otherwise quite mundane. One path is not better than another, for the grid of light is weaved with many strands, each serving its individual purpose for the good of all. However, there is ever choice. Choice, free will, is supreme. You may choose a path of the Messiah, of a awakened one who is willing to reveal their light to a world that yet shuns it, fears it, and persecutes it. Those who walk this path walk the path of Yeshua, the Christ. It is a path of difficulty, beauty, magic, wonder, and suffering. However, there is hope. There is the potential that as more choose to come forward into the public view as themselves, as the light that they are, not denying or hiding anything, that the light that they bear will become more, shall we say, acceptable to the collective consciousness as their illumination and courage creates opportunities for others to come forward in a similar way. It is the lone mystic that stands the greatest chance of persecution and attempts by others to, out of their own fear, put out the light that reveals that within themselves which is yet unhealed. It is a community of light, a community of awakened ones that stands the greatest chance of surviving the storm that you are currently in. And so we say unto you, those who hear this voice, find kindred spirits and gather. Find kindred spirits and form communities of practice. Make Christhood commonplace, expected, the norm. And together in community be the light that you are in truth as you, as a being who is an ascended master, remembering their mastery. Communities of light are the greatest hope for humanity at this time. It can seem that you have little control over the collective madness that seems to possess this planet at this time. For those who hold power publicly and behind the scenes seem to have absolute control over the collective destiny. However, I say unto you that your communities of light, your gatherings of kindred spirits, are a more than sufficient match for them. It need not be open war, as you may think, against the powers that were. Rather, your battle, if we are to use such dualistic terms, can be waged one open heart to another at a time. For as you build the field of love, of truth, of beauty, the light that you hold shall illuminate that in the collective which is still unhealed and in need of illumination. You become a warrior of light when you live your life in truth as you, as the ascended being that you are becoming. And as you hold more light in your own physical vessel and in the communities of light that gather round you, you become a mighty tower of illumination, even though your numbers are small and your worldly power seemingly insignificant compared to the armies that threaten destruction of the planet. Yet your spiritual strength, your illumination, your courage reverberates throughout the collective, and one light lights another, and so on and so forth, until the entire world has been transformed. Transformed not by the shooting of artillery or the destruction of other self in anger, but simply from the illumination of one heart to another, so on and so forth. The old way of doing things, of top-down control, of amassing great power of a physical variety in one or two or three people, is a thing of the past. The future is one that belongs to the humble servant of the good of all, one who does not seek great worldly power, fame, and recognition, but instead chooses to live their life well and humbly, simple living and high thinking, one who engages in the great work in an unassuming way, while living their life well in service to the good of all. We are not in need of more messiahs. We are not in need of more saviors. We are in need of humble students and teachers, brothers and sisters and friends. We are in need of those who teach through example of their own life how to love unconditionally and live authentically. We are in need of communities of light that share the burden of leadership amongst themselves, each serving in accordance with their capacity and ability to serve. We need examples of egalitarian societies that live in harmony with one another and the land, in gratitude and thanksgiving. We need communities of light that show a new way forward for humanity. Those who seek direct conflict with the old order will find that they are drawn into the paradigm of duality and become that which they seek to destroy. This is not the way. It is through the parallel example of that which is more full of joy, of light, and love, that is living in integrity with truth and wisdom, that shall win the day. Be joyous, my friends, and love one another. Serve the good of all in accordance with your capacity humbly. Let go of the archetype of the Savior, for the Savior is ever in need of one who needs to be saved, one who is disempowered, one who cannot save themselves. The Savior also always is in need of an enemy, one whom they may wage battle against, an other that must be destroyed or defeated. This too is a paradigm of duality that has outlived its usefulness. I tell you instead, brothers and sisters of love and light, that the better way is to help one another save yourselves through teaching the ways of wisdom and love and the practices that have been useful to you upon your paths of individual transformation and ascension. Give others the tools to help themselves. Be an example to them of what a healed person looks like. Be the example, be the change you wish to see in the world, and others shall follow and illuminate their own hearts and remember their own identity in God. We have, at this time, exited spiritual childhood as a humanity. It was in spiritual childhood that you needed the Messiah to save you. It was in spiritual childhood that you needed someone to do it for you, to make the decisions for you, to do the work for you, to save you from your own helplessness and ignorance. This is the way of a child. This is the way of one who has not yet gained the strength and wisdom to do it themselves. But I say unto you, that time has passed, and you now step into the new dawn as adolescents, becoming adults, learning how to bear the burdens of responsibility yourself. You are responsible for your own life. You are responsible for your own salvation. You are responsible for your own illumination. You are responsible for your own ascension, and it can be no other way. Rise up, rise up, rise up, and find your voice. Rise up, and claim your power. Rise up, dear ones, and remember who and what you are. Until next time, Adonai.